Altura blades. I think these are going to go home with me, and I think I'm going to put them on a Hunter original. I think I can make that work. I'll have to flex the bracket a little bit to make that work. But yeah, a Hampton Bay Altura original. That'll be different. Thanks for watching, everybody. As always. And I totally forgot to do the soul spill at the first bit of the video. Thank you for watching the Deep Voice Fin Collector Brian Hicks. Okay, I've got one blade bracket fitted so thus far. The method's a little bit unorthodox, but it works. The blade bracket's tight on there. So to demonstrate what it's going to do, it's going to look basically like that. It's going to be crazy, basically. Will it even clear the bottom plate? Am I going to have to use a 4-blade fan with an isolation ring? I think I'm good, actually. Oh, I'm not even aiming the camera correctly. But yeah, that's basically what it's going to look like. Got this one here on eBay. Let's see if I've got enough room to accomplish it on this fan, and I'm pretty darn sure that I don't. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. So it's going to have to be that one down yonder. I can't remember if that's got a 1.1 amp motor or a 2.0. Hopefully it's 2.0. I think it's 2.0. But that's going to be the test pig. So, yeah. That should prove very interesting. So, more later. I don't know why I keep saying more later. I guess I'll just edit that out. Words of Emerson Colley. One blade on the fan now. Alrighty, that is a large fan. Yeah. It's actually off. I just hand spun it. I have not turned it on yet, but I have hand spun it and got the blade brackets fairly close, and I got it to what I feel is the optimum angle of attack, which is just a little bit of upward curvature here, and it's level about there, and then it comes down. Later in the video, I will try turning it up, and I'll try turning it down. But as I said earlier in the video, the reason for that was I wanted to be able to adjust it to see what had happened. And if I put the bracket in the center, when I went to turn the pitch up, or the angle of attack, it would hit the housing. So I guess we're going to go low, medium, high. Give it a boost. This fan here is kind of my test mule, so to speak. Now that is interesting. We actually, this is low speed. This is not that much slower than it would operate normally on low. And I can feel a definite slight breeze from it. Huh. Let's go medium. See what happens. About 60 RPM there. About 70. Maybe 75, 80. You can already see stuff is starting to move around because, hell, it's going faster than the Altura does on high. Now, granted, there's a 5th blade there usually, and I only got the 4, else I would have tested it as 5. Oh yeah, there's some definite air movement there. I mean, it's... Well, let's compare it. Hey, Kenny. Watch out, buddy. Let's compare it to this on medium. Just by the seat of my pants, I would say that this is actually moving more air than that. All right, let's see what the hell happens on high. That's significantly faster than I was expecting. That is... That's supposed to be 160 RPM on medium. Well, that's what it's on. That's about 150 RPM, 160, somewhere in there. Look at all the crap moving. Jeez. Imagine if it wasn't restricted. Because, I got this here, I got all this stuff here. Imagine if it was in free air. Holy crap, that thing's moving a lot of air. Wow. And it kind of loses airflow right about here. I guarantee you it's cavitating some. If the blades were about here and there was nothing around, I'm pretty positive it would move more air. And the reason why I know it's cavitating is because you'll notice, I don't know if you can even see it, but the light fixture is kind of doing that motion. And when a fan is cavitating, they tend to do that. That is insane. I mean, it's... Hunter, are you listening to this? I mean, I think it's ugly as hell, but when DOE comes around in 2017 or 18, and y'all can't do the 1.0 amp original anymore, this might be a solution right here. Make that thing make a DC oil bath motor and put that type of blades on it. Holy crap, that thing moved a lot of air. Let's reverse it just for the hell of it. I can't remember if the J-hook's tight or not. I know it's not going to move any air that way. Well, a little bit, but with the curvature of the blades, reversing a fan like that is kind of pointless. I usually don't do that, by the way. Oh shit, we're dark. I didn't even notice. Sorry about that, y'all. That is That is insane. Watch out, Kenny, watch out. I mean, yeah, it moves. The airspeed is even faster than this. Holy crap. Can you imagine, for just a second, okay. Imagine if the diameter were 52, 56 inches instead of whatever it is now. It could be, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but the Altura is like 68 inches. We're probably closer to 70, maybe, I don't know. I really don't know what the diameter is. It might be 60 inches. I don't know. But anyway, that's just insane. That moves a lot of air. Now, with the way the original motors are, I probably wouldn't run that like that for a long period of time. But imagine for a second, if you will, imagine the blade ends right about there, and the pitch was turned up a little bit. Imagine that. That would be insane, I do believe. Because with the curve, without going into a physics lesson, what's happening is instead of the blade coming along and throwing air, because that's what happens, as it's coming through the air, it's going like so, and that's how it moves the air, is it's just throwing it. Anybody want to drill a blade? But in the case of this, it's the air's coming. The air is up here. It's coming down. Blade's coming through. Let me move the arm. The air's up here. It's coming down because of vacuum, and that's also the reason why you get cavitation. Is if the pressure gets too low up there, above the fan up here, it can't pull enough air because these blades are not designed for negative pressure. There are some types of fan blades that are designed for negative pressure, and they're not on ceiling fans. They're, I think, axle style, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, so the air comes in under vacuum because it's coming up and sucking this way, and it's coming down. And then in this case, instead of just being thrown down, the air's coming in, and it's gently pushed. Does that make sense? And the fan provides its own lift, kind of like an airplane. So I'm going to try turning up the blade pitch. Set that there. Hopefully you can kind of see that. Maybe that'll work. So I'm going to try turning it up as much as I can. Without breaking my brackets, because I've already bent the crap out of them to make them fit the blades. If I break one, well, that's the end of this video, even though I've got more junk ones like this. Okay, so that's turned up about as far as I can get it. And in this case now, the angle of attack is much greater, and the flat surface is here, so it's a lot steeper now. And already I can tell the difference in the air movement. There's already being air thrown out. Okay, let's go up to medium. I'm sure it's going to run significantly slower now. The velocity is slower, but the air movement is still there. Okay, so that's probably about 100, 110 RPM. Holy cow. I wouldn't say that it's... Well, it's probably moving more air. And again, because of the boxes and stuff, it's kind of restricted. And I can still see it cavitating a little bit. But holy crap. I mean, there's just an immense amount of air being thrown out here. And if I ever get the time, I'm sorry about the aiming of the camera, I'm just totally blown away by this. If I ever get the chance, leave it on low. If I ever get the chance and the time, I'm going to mount this set up on one of the outdoor originals that I have. Granted, those are Energy Star, but still similar amounts of power. Yeah, that's something else right there. And the thing is, though, is that if the blades had I'm sure y'all have heard of the Gossamer wind fans. Okay, you know the Hampton Bay Industrial? That's Gossamer wind. It's kind of like an airplane propeller. Steep at the base, and it kind of floats out towards a negative pitch or a zero pitch. If, and this is a big if these had a bit of a curve to them in that regard, this thing would probably move even more air. Because then it wouldn't have all this surface area to contend with, and you would have, what you wind up having is a more steady rate of speed of the airflow coming out of it. Does that make any sense? Okay, what I'm getting at is, because it would be steeper here. Consider if this is the tip of the blade, which it isn't, but if this is the tip of the blade, say that it is, the tip speed of the fan going around is much lower here than it is here. The tip speed here at 150 RPM is faster than that fan is over there on high at 200 RPM, just because the diameter is larger. Does that make sense? The further out you go, the faster the tip speed is. And the faster the tip speed is, the less blade pitch you actually need to move the same amount of air. Does that make sense? Let me try to put it another way. I'll try to use this as an example, but I'm not going to screw with this fan because it's on eBay. Okay. What I'm talking about is, okay, this is 15 degrees. If it came out, okay, say this blade was curved, like that one is down there, or those are down there. If it was curved and the pitch was steeper at the base and less at the tip, you would have air movement of the same, if you had it right, of course. Now, I mean, this is just all given and it's just me talking. But if it was steep here and less steep here, you would get an even amount of air across the blade. Now, this may be why we see fans have always kind of been 48 inch, 50 inch, 52, 54, 56, 60. It's about as big as they ever got up until recent years, where you get the fans that only turn like 60 RPM on high, blah, 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 etc. Powering on. My speaker got mad at me. There's another video there. But what I'm saying is 52 inches may, if you do formulas and crap, may actually be the ideal size because of the blade tip speed and the blade pitch. But I don't know. Physics aren't my thing. fans are. But yeah, that's kind of interesting down there.